This week on Great British Menu, 3 of Northern Ireland's best chefs. Last year's regional champion, Chris McGowan.
I have absolutely no aspirations to be your best friend this week.
Rising star, Danny Barry.
I guess it's all in there. Stay eating.
And ambitious newcomer, Ben Arnold.
Slippery wee devil, isn't he?
Are fighting for the chance to cook at a banquet celebrating 100 years of the Women's Institute at London's prestigious Drapers Hall. Yesterday, Chris delivered an unfinished starter,
So if I'm not happy, I'm not going to serve it.
but still managed a 1-point lead over Danny and Ben. Today, the fight is on for the fish course, and Chris's rivals are snapping at his heels.
Things have changed then since the starter course.
1 point ahead, Chris, you know. I hope he'll be sprinting ahead of you by the end of it.
You know, Phil is a notoriously hard judge. He doesn't give points away for free, you know.
Ooh, pressure's on, Danny, pressure's on.
It's a very brave dish.
Brave or stupid?
But will the battle to reach the judges' chamber prove too much for one Northern Irish contender?
For a professional chef, that's unacceptable.
This year, the chefs are celebrating the centenary of the Women's Institute and paying tribute to the women who've helped make British food great.
Here we go.
They've researched the rich history of the organisation,
The Queen Mother was our president.
Hello, ladies.
visited local groups,
Pleasure to meet you.
Hi, you must be Yvonne.
That's a nice surprise.
and taken inspiration from the women in their own families
Well, it's just amazing. It's all about education, kind of empowering women.
to turn home-cooked classics into modern masterpieces.
I'd really enjoy it if I was there at the banquet.
Thank you very much.
Judging the chefs is 2 Michelin-starred Phil Howard, who served his fish course at the banquet 3 years ago.
For the fish course, ultimately, I'm looking for flavour, technical ability, craftsmanship, finesse. That's what they're going to have to do to get through.
So, guys, starter course, threw absolutely everything at it. Even got my finger in the way.
Let's hope that it hinders you anyway today, Chef, and we can claw back a few points. I think after starter course, you know, we all want to up our game.
Either somebody gets a couple of points ahead, or it'll kind of be, you know, nail-biting stuff for the main course.
After this course, I think it'll be different.
That's fighting talk,
That
Ben.
is fighting talk, Ben.
First up is reigning Northern Irish champion Chris McGowan, whose menu is inspired by his childhood. He's in the lead on 7 points, despite missing an element of his starter.
My battle plan today is to go in, focus, head down. I'm 1 point ahead, so yeah, I just want to go in there and smash it today.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Phil.
OK, come on, talk me through it. What a great-looking box of goodies there.
This is a homage to my mum. So this is Imelda Fish and Milk, 2015. My mum was a very busy lady. There was 5 of us, so sometimes it was just literally a fillet of fish and milk. For her, it was a very humble dish, but it's something that stayed with me all my life, really.
How are you going to elevate simple fish and milk?
Well, you know, I've got some fantastic wild turbot here, the queen of the sea, as they say.
King of the sea, almost.
And king of the sea as well. I'm going to poach it in milk like my mum would have done, slightly infused with some aromats. And we've got some fantastic langoustines. And then I have some buttermilk to make a curd, which I can make gnocchi from. I'm making a really nice Jerusalem artichoke puree, kind of resonates with WI. And then just some sea veg as a kind of homage to WI and the horticultural side of what they've done.
OK.
I'm going to make a very light lemon dressing, which is going to go in a little atomizer.
Do you think this dish is going to be worthy of a banquet?
It's what the WI were about. They were about really championing home cooking, and for me, that's why I remember as home cooking.
Perhaps a little bit less going on here than in the starter. Are we going to see levels of finesse and craft?
I've just kept it to a few ingredients so I can really look after those and try and get this dish to the banquet.
Melda's Fish and Milk 2015. Chris has actually got my 2 favourite ingredients in his box there. King of the Seas, the turbot, best of all the shellfish, the langoustines. I'll be so disappointed if he doesn't put them to really great use.
Next up is ambitious newcomer Ben Arnold. His menu also celebrates family recipes, but he scored a 6 for a starter Phil judged too basic for the banquet.
I need to get a great score for my fish. I want to be going into that halfway point, at least level pegging, if not 1 or 2 points ahead. Morning, Chef.
Morning, morning. How are we?
Good, thank you.
Oh, get a load of that, huh? Talk me through it.
My dish is inspired by my grandmother, Mrs. Skillen.
Great stuff, huh?
She came from a very meagre background, fishing village, taking meagre ingredients all those years ago. Recipe been passed down through generations from grandmother to mother, from mother to myself.
Cracking box of ingredients. Talk me through them.
I'm gonna cook the lobster, then I'm gonna refresh it, remove the tail meat, and then bring it back in a little bit of fish stock.
Okay.
Very similar with the brown crab. Some poached smoked cod, razor clams. I've also got this beautiful brill, too big to fit in the box, so we're gonna fillet this and fry it.
Who's playing the starring role here? Is it the brill? Is it the lobster? Is it the crab? Is it the...
They're all gonna come together. It's gonna be tied in by this beautiful, smoky fish chowder.
Chris, feeling a bit threatened there, perhaps?
It's a lot of fish to cook right under pressure. If you nail that, then yeah, I'm
Game
in
on.
trouble. Yeah, game on.
So Ben's dish, Mrs. Skillen's fish soup, a whole range of star ingredients that have all got to be treated in slightly different ways and then be brought together at the end to create one magnificent dish. That's a big call under the pressurised circumstances that he's cooking in today.
Last up, rising star Danny Barry. Her menu honours her mum and the activities of the WI. Like Ben, she scored a 6 for a first course that failed to live up to Phil's expectations.
Going into my fish course now, it's one of my more simple dishes, so I'm going to have to execute this absolutely perfectly, or else, yeah, I'm going to be looking at another low score.
Hi, Danny. Look at that. Title of the dish?
This is the New Wave. So
The New Wave.
This is inspired by the new, modern, more current WI. They support causes like sustainability, the environment, food waste, all issues that affect us all.
So talk me through the ingredients.
Yeah, this is it's a beautiful halibut. This is a banquet, and this is a really good fish. Also, it's sustainably farmed.
And cooking process?
Sous vide the halibut, and then finish it with a blowtorch, just to get a nice colour and flavour at the end.
Okay, fantastic.
So with that, I'll serve Jerusalem artichokes. So I'm going to puree these, and also I'm going to pickle some of these. It's a nod to the Jerusalem anthem that they would sing at the WI, but it's also a really good flavour, and it really works with this dish.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm going to use as much of this fish as I can. I'm going to roast the bones when I take the fillets off. I'm going to roast the head. That's what I'm going to use to make my sauce, and finish it with butter and tarragon.
The halibut is the star of the show.
Yeah, this is it. There's nothing to hide behind here. It's just fish and sauce, really, and garnish.
Okay, you best cook it sharp.
Yep.
Danny's dish, the New Wave, it is a very simple dish. She has got nowhere to hide with it. If she absolutely nails it, could deliver, but there's certainly some risk here.
With cooking underway, talk turns to Chris's lead.
1 point ahead, Chris, we're not far off your heels. Hopefully we'll be sprinting ahead of you by the end of it.
I hope not, Ben. As much as I like you as an individual, you're a nice guy. Yeah, I have absolutely no aspirations to be your best friend this week.
Feelings mutual, mate.
Things have changed then since the starter course.
Yesterday, Chris was so overstretched he served an incomplete starter, a mistake he can't afford to repeat. He works on the buttermilk gnocchi to accompany his take on his mum's fish and milk.
Chris,
Hi, Chef.
you look a little bit more in control, Chris.
It was mental at the starter, you know what I mean?
What you got happening here?
This is the kind of gnocchi, but I've used buttermilk. I've just got some curd. I've kind of heated the buttermilk, so it's separated from its whey.
What else you got in there? Got some
A little bit of lemon.
Okay.
And then it's just a case of using that as a substitute for potato. It's an old recipe that I find in a WI book.
So let's hope we
Yeah.
see the result of some order and a little bit of restraint.
Yeah.
Good luck.
After scoring a disappointing 6 for her starter, Danny's also desperate for better today. She's pureeing and pickling Jerusalem artichokes for her halibut dish, the New Wave, inspired by the modern-day WI.
Danny's probably got the biggest challenge on her hands. She's got a dish that I don't completely get, but if she absolutely gets everything right, it will be lovely to eat. But I'm just not convinced it's going to come together and outshine the other two.
Ben also got a low 6 for a starter that wasn't up to scratch. So today he's going all out with a deconstructed fish soup featuring an array of lavish seafood.
Slippery wee devil, isn't he?
So Ben, have you got any worries about this dish in particular?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, got 4 or 5 different bits of fish and shellfish. It's
Yeah.
going to come together right at the end. As you say, overcooked fish. What's the point? May as well go home.
You know, Phil is a notoriously hard judge. He doesn't give points away for free.
Ben works on a fish stock for his velouté, a rich chowder sauce that will form the soup element of his dish, before starting on his crab.
Look at those, huh?
The whopping big claw on it.
That's just a great piece of ingredient. How's that work its way into the dish?
We're going to finish the dish and just lightly garnish the plate just with some picked white crab meat. You know,
Shell-free, I'm hoping.
I guarantee you, chef.
You guarantee. Okay.
To create a menu celebrating the WI centenary, Ben looked close to home for inspiration.
I'm cooking for my mum to begin with, and my grandmother. Overall, you know, one of the most important women in my life.
Ben has a family fishing connection to the seaside village of Annalong in County Down. To check his fish course is on the right track, he paid the local WI a visit.
Some of the main inspiration for my fish dish is my late grandmother, Mrs. Skillen. She was born and raised in Kilkeel, not too far from here.
The ladies of the Annalong WI have shared their tried and tested recipes with each other for decades, as Ben found out from former President Jean.
Even people who are not in WI give us recipes, fish recipes, soda bread recipes, jam and all the rest.
It's not just about the Women's Institute, it's
No.
about including everybody in the community.
That is right. We do have a great time.
I'm sure you do.
Come down some night to a meeting. I would hate to think I was without WI, because it means a tremendous lot to me.
Hoping to get the Annalong WI's seal of approval, Ben served up a taster of his fish course.
Here we go, ladies. Mrs. Skillen's fish soup.
I think your soup is absolutely delicious. It is very tasty. You could cook for me any day.
My bowl's empty. First class. Thank you very much.
Absolutely delicious. And I wish you all the best in your venture across the water.
I think they enjoyed my soup. I didn't see too many disappointed faces, and the feedback was good. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
With the clock ticking in the kitchen, Ben must be ready to cook all of his seafood at the last minute before plate up.
So you've had some tips from the insiders from the WI.
Yeah, they enjoyed it.
But Phil has concerns about the chowder sauce Ben started earlier.
The velouté is actually the bit that's going to knit it all together. What have you used out of the lobster, or the crabs, or the clams in terms of shell to get flavour to go back in?
We made a fish stock, standard fish stock, and then I used the juices out of the clams, and that's it.
You're happy that's going to give the chowder enough flavour?
I'm confident in that sauce.
It's just such a shame he's not using any of the shells for his sauce. That's absolutely instrumental in WI, was to be thrifty and to use all components of any ingredient.
I'm not sure why he hasn't used them in his stock. I don't know if it's a timing issue for him or what, but certainly you would want to use all of those shells in that.
With time slipping away, Ben makes a last-minute decision and retrieves the shells from his lobster and crab.
Phil's got your worries,
you know
has he?
what? I wasn't using the shells. I realised, you know, I made a mistake, and I'm doing what I can to try and bring it back.
One chat with Phil Howard, and there's lobster shells being roasted in a pan. The Phil Howard effect, we'll call it. It's real.
I'm really feeling the pressure in this course with it coming together right at the end, and knowing Phil is expecting, you know, big things.
Across the kitchen, Chris is also pushing to impress Phil with Imelda's Fish and Milk, his homage to a humble childhood dish which pays tribute to the WI's horticultural history. First up to the pass, Chris pan-fries his langoustine and poaches turbot fillets in fennel-infused buttermilk.
That tastes exactly how my mum's used to.
Oh, wow.
Next, Chris prepares his special gardening presentation, filling atomizers with lemon and fennel oil to dress his garnish of living wild herbs. Finally, he starts his plate with Jerusalem artichoke puree, followed by buttermilk gnocchi, poached turbot, pan-fried langoustine and langoustine sauce.
Chris, what's the dish about?
It's about my mum and a nod to the WI about their horticultural background.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Can't wait to eat it.
Okay, let's go. Tell me, how am I supposed to approach it?
Just kind of snip and pick the herbs that you want to go on top, so little herbal notes that you can kind of just pick.
He's really tied in that gardening element.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
So the little atomizer, you just point that into the bowl.
Just a gentle-
Yeah, just a gentle little viewing.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I'm just not sure everybody will understand
Yeah,
how much of that to use.
Fish seasoned enough, Chris?
I think so, Chef.
I think it's seasoned really well. You know, there's nothing too overpowering.
Let's have a look at the langoustines. Greatest shellfish in the sea. Have you done it justice?
I think so, Chef.
I like the langoustine. I think it's nicely cooked.
You won't want better than that, will you?
Gnocchis were clearly a big part of your dish. They come out how you wanted them?
There's a nice curd flavour too that I feel is there, Chef.
Do you think you've got enough finesse in this dish to take it to the banquet?
I believe that you mean the quality of the ingredients are there. I've looked after them.
I think there's a lot of theatre, a lot of interaction. I think people would love it. He's hit the brief here. I think he'll be happy with that.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm seriously going to have to pull something special out of the bag now to match up to this.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's have a mark out of 10 for your fish dish.
An 8 or above would be amazing.
Knockout dish for me.
That's easily a 9.
Whew. Pressure's on, Danny. Pressure's on.
How do you think it went, Chris?
I don't know. You know, Phil's got a poker face. You know, you just don't know.
Ben is next to the pass with Mrs. Skillen's fish soup, a celebratory take on his grandmother's recipe.
5 minutes?
So how are you getting on, Chef?
Yeah, good, Chris.
Yeah.
All I've got to do is cook my fish,
Yeah.
fill my flask, put my garnish on the plate, put the sauce on the plate, put the fish on the plate, so not much.
With the clock ticking, Ben finishes his razor clams in white wine and his lobster in a butter emulsion.
So kind of cooking times are crucial for you now, Chef, aren't they?
Last minute, yeah, but you know, element out for
Yeah.
what we're trained to do, isn't it?
But Ben's dish should already be at the pass.
Ben, you're 1 minute late.
Yes, chef.
Ben gets his brill fillets into the pan, but he's forgotten all about his smoked cod, which should be poaching in milk.
How long you got to cook your fish for then, Ben?
1, 2 minutes. I haven't got 1 or 2 minutes, to be honest, so I need to hurry up.
Ben finally starts his plate with sea vegetables, followed by poached lobster, brill and razor clams.
The timing is way out, Ben.
Yeah, I know, chef. Apologies. Yeah.
Ben tries to fill hip flasks with his velouté sauce, but the thick consistency makes it a tricky task.
6 minutes out, Ben. The rest of the dish is getting cold, Ben.
It's just time consuming. It's an error.
Finally, he gets his flasks to the pass, but he's forgotten another element.
Where's my crab, Ben? It's 10 minutes over, Ben.
It's 10, yeah, it's not acceptable, chef.
Finished?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's have it. What have we got here?
Okay, so Mrs. Skillen's fish soup.
Are you happy with the dish despite the time, Ben?
Yes, chef, I am.
So what went wrong, Ben?
Pressure undoubtedly got to me. I knew I was over time.
Yeah, Chris, 10 minutes over. Not great, is it?
It's a long time for food to be sitting on any pass, you know.
That's what we do. A la minute, that's what we do. That's what we live and breathe.
I didn't give myself enough time at the end.
Clearly.
So yeah, Mrs. Skillen's family recipes. So
Yeah.
obviously this is inspired by his grandmother.
Yeah. I like that. It's lovely, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of a little secret recipe. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
One thing that I saw in your box that I can't see on the plate, but there might be an explanation, is the smoked cod.
Yeah, you're right. It's no smoked cod.
Why is it missing?
Pressure got to me. I knew I was over time, and I simply didn't put on a dish.
So this is his chowder that's made into a velouté?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Is it a soup?
No.
Is it brill?
Yes.
Is that how you want it?
Yeah, I think it's nice to cook.
Yeah, really tasty, that.
Lobster?
Yeah, I think the season's nice. It's tender.
Not a huge fan of razor clam, so
Yeah.
yep, still not a massive fan.
What would you score this dish out of 10?
An element missing. Sauce isn't right. Yeah, 2, 3.
Okay.
Hi, Ben.
All right, Ben.
How are you, mate?
I'm gutted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I really believed in that dish. You know, I was so happy with it. It was coming together. Trying to fill that jug was a nightmare.
Danny is last to plate up her dish, the New Wave. She's hoping her tribute to the modern-day WI will push her ahead.
I think there's a big risk doing another simple dish, but this is my food and this is what I cook at home, so we'll just have to see.
She takes a blowtorch to her sous vide cooked halibut.
The WI do this all the time.
Do they? Do you
Yeah,
blow
yeah.
torch? Yeah.
Never blowtorched it, but anything, to be honest. Maybe a bit of copper pipe, but
Danny finishes her fish with a brown butter glaze, then starts her plate with Jerusalem artichoke puree, sea herbs and roast halibut bone sauce, before topping with the fish.
This kind of dish, there's absolutely nowhere to hide on it, is there? I mean, the execution of everything from the fish to the pickle to the sauce. It's a very brave dish.
Brave or stupid?
Danny finally garnishes with discs of pickled Jerusalem artichoke.
Have you done yourself and the women of the WI proud, Danny?
I hope so, yeah. I guess it's all in the eating.
Okay, Danny, do you think the ladies at the banquet understand the story that you're trying to tell?
I mean, I hope so. It's not as obvious as maybe some of the other props that others have used.
it's not jumping off the plate.
No.
To me, no.
Very particular cooking techniques for the halibut. Has it achieved what you hoped it would?
Yeah, I really like the texture. It's still really moist as well, and it's warm.
I'm not mad keen on the texture.
Do you think that blowtorching the fish has added anything?
Well, because I chose to cook it in the water bath, I think it's nice to get that colour, that, you know, a slight charred flavour.
Jerusalem artichoke. Why have you chosen it for this dish?
Obviously, a nod to Jerusalem was why I chose it for this dish, but you know, you could use any other vegetable, I guess, but...
It's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Texture's beautiful.
Yeah.
Smooth, silky, seasoned really well.
Yeah.
You called the sauce a roasted bone sauce. Am I going to be able to detect that when I taste it?
It's not like a normal fish stock reduction. You should get a depth of flavour there.
I really like that sauce.
Just got the balance right.
Let's have a mark out of 10.
I think it's a 7 or 8.
I'm gonna go straight in there and give it a 9.
That's a high score. I'm giving it an 8. It's a strong 8.
Right, guys.
Yeah. So, how was that?
Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I hope I executed the dishes I wanted. I mean, I felt that I did, but I mean, you just don't know. You don't know what he's looking for.
How are you feeling, Ben, after?
I'm a bit deflated, to be honest. Yeah, for sure. I don't expect it to be good.
This fish course is over. How did you find it?
I find it hard, all right, chef. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough.
That was evident, Ben. Chris, I'll start with you for your Melder's Fish and Milk 2015 with turbot, langoustine, buttermilk gnocchi. I thought this was delicious. It was fun. I liked the theatre. I thought the langoustines were every bit as good as they should have been. Texture of the turbot was immaculate. But I have to say, the turbot I thought was a little bit under-seasoned. The flavour of the gnocchi was very good, but the outside was a little bit tight. Danny, with your The New Wave of halibut fillet, roasted bone sauce, foraged sea herbs and Jerusalem artichokes. I thought the texture of the halibut was fantastic. I thought the pickled and pureed artichokes served the exact purpose that you intended them to. And I like the idea of representing the contemporary, up-to-date WI. But I thought the flavour of the halibut was just a little bit lacking. I think you could have given it some additional seasoning and also perhaps been a little bit more robust with the blowtorch. And I'm not convinced the guests at the banquet would be able to work out exactly what the relevance to the brief is. Finally, Ben, with your Mrs. Gillen's fish soup of velouté, salted shellfish, sea vegetables and croutons. I think this dish could be a great dish. The lobster was absolutely immaculate. I thought the overall flavour of what I got to taste at the end was wonderful, but the timing was shocking. And for a professional chef, that's unacceptable. You forgot not one but two elements, the crab and the smoked cod. The velouté was way too thick. And I'm afraid I thought the razor clams were a little bit tough too. Chris, I'm going to give you a score of 8.
Okay.
Great plate of food, but it still needs a bit of refinement.
Okay.
Danny, I'm going to give you a score of 7. It was well executed, but I still don't feel you're pushing yourself. To get a dish through to the final or to the banquet, you've just got to raise your game.
Yep, will do.
Ben, I could argue the dish warrants a 4. But given the fact that I think buried underneath that shocking delivery, there's actually a great dish. And exceptionally, I'll give you a 5. You cannot be late to the pass again or serve incomplete plates of food. There we have it. Next course, main course. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you,
8.
Chef.
Very good.
Thank you, Chef.
That was a nice to listen to, but
You tore me apart. It was a catastrophe, to be honest.
So, with 2 courses down, Chris is in the lead on 15 points. Danny is 2 points behind on 13, while Ben's in last place on 11 points.
I'm elated that I got an 8.
I feel like I'm still in a good position. I have 2 strong courses to come, so I'm by no means out of the game.
Sausages, sausages, and more sausages next. The Hairy Bikers will be thrilled. They're in Poland, starting their new Baltic adventure. Or on BBC iPlayer, why not join the reunion of food writers with Mary Berry among the guests?